Tonight, two of the world's most powerful drug lords are in U.S. custody, including the son of former kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, both charged with flooding the United States with drugs like fentanyl and cocaine. CBS's Manuel Bojorquez reports that federal agents used trickery and deception to make the arrest.
Mexico is often associated with drugs, cartels, and international crimes. Behind many of these acts, there's usually a person pulling the strings from the shadows. El Mayo is one of them. Just last month, news broke that El Mayo, the co-founder of the Sinaloa drug cartel, was reportedly kidnapped in Mexico and handed over to the United States against his will. This dramatic turn of events has captured global attention. But who is this powerful drug lord, and what could happen to him in the future? Let's find out in this video. Ismael Mario Zambada García, better known as El Mayo, was born on January 1st, 1948, and is a former Mexican drug lord. He is one of the co-founders and top leaders of the Sinaloa Cartel, an international crime organization based in Sinaloa, Mexico. Before taking over as the cartel's leader, Zambada was responsible for coordinating the logistics of the Guzman Zambada organization, which managed the trafficking of cocaine and heroin into U.S. cities like Chicago. They used various methods for smuggling, including aircraft, submarines, container ships, fast boats, buses, and cars. Zambada has also maintained strong connections with the Juarez cartel and the Carrillo Fuentes family, as well as with Colombian cocaine suppliers. After the arrest of Mexican drug lord Miguel Angel Felix Gallardo in 1989, the organization split into two rival factions, the Tijuana cartel, led by the Arellano Felix brothers, and the Sinaloa Cartel, which Zambada led alongside Hector Luis Palma Salazar and Joaquin Guzman Loera, also known as El Chapo. The Sinaloa Cartel operated in several Mexican states, including Sinaloa, Durango, and Sonora. Since 1998, Zambada has been wanted by the Mexican government, which placed bounties totaling $2.8 million on him and other cartel leaders. In 2006, President Felipe Calderón's administration launched a major offensive against Mexico's drug trafficking networks, particularly targeting the Tijuana cartel. This allowed Zambada and Guzman to expand their influence in northwestern Mexico, leading to violent conflicts. The Sinaloa Cartel, under Zambada's leadership, continued to receive large quantities of cocaine from Colombian sources, using various methods to smuggle the drugs into the United States. The cartel's influence extended across Mexico's Pacific coast and into other regions like Cancun and Nuevo León. In the 2000s, Zambada became one of the most wanted men in Mexico, with the FBI offering up to $5 million for information, leading to his capture. It was believed that Zambada may have undergone plastic surgery to avoid detection. After El Chapo's capture in 2016, Zambada assumed full control of the Sinaloa cartel and is now considered one of Mexico's most powerful and enduring drug lords. In 2019, Zambada's son, Vicente Zambada Niebla, testified against El Chapo, revealing that his father regularly bribed high-level Mexican officials, sometimes spending as much as $1 million per month on these bribes. Ismael Zambada, also known as El Mayo, is married to Rosario Niebla Cardosa. They have 4 sons and 4 daughters. His family has been deeply involved in the drug trade. His wife and sons, Serafin Zambada Ortiz, known as El Cera, who was arrested and released in 2018, and Ismael Zambada Imperial, nicknamed El Mayito Gordo, who was convicted, as well as his daughters, Maria Teresa, Miriam Patricia, Monica del Rosario, and Modesta, have all played roles in drug trafficking and money laundering. On March 18, 2009, Zambada's son Vicente Zambada Niebla was arrested by the Mexican army. Another son, Ismael Mayito Zambada Jr., is wanted in the United States for conspiracy to distribute drugs. On October 20th, 2010, some of Zambada's relatives, including his brother Jesus the King Zambada and another son and nephew, were arrested in Mexico City on drug trafficking charges. Tragedy struck on June 18, 2014, when Zambada's son-in-law, Juan Gabriel Gonzalez Ibarra, who was married to his daughter Miriam Patricia, died from an electric shock at his home in Culiacan. In June 2020, former DEA agent Mike Vigil revealed that Zambada was suffering from diabetes. As mentioned earlier, 2 leaders of the Sinaloa Cartel were arrested in the United States last month. One of them, Joaquin Guzman Lopez, the son of the infamous cartel boss Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, played a key role in organizing the arrest. Guzman Lopez tricked Ismael El Mayo Zambada, a top leader of the cartel, into boarding a flight. Zambada believed the flight was to inspect a piece of land in Mexico. However, the plane actually landed in El Paso, Texas, where federal agents, including those from Homeland Security investigations, arrested both men. Zambada had no idea that U.S. investigators had used a split within the cartel to set him up, and that Guzman Lopez was cooperating with them. FBI agents captured the 2 men in one of the biggest successes for U.S. law enforcement against the cartels. The operation went smoothly despite the seriousness of the arrests and the potential impact on Mexican drug trafficking. Zambada pleaded not guilty to all charges during his first court appearance in El Paso and is being held without bail on 7 federal criminal charges, including running a criminal enterprise and money laundering. Zambada also agreed to give up his right to appear in person at a hearing scheduled for July 31st and did not request bail. FBI Director Christopher Wray stated that both Zambada and Guzman Lopez had evaded law enforcement for years, but would now face justice in the United States. U.S. authorities had been after Zambada for years, raising the reward for his capture to $15 million in 2021. He was indicted by a grand jury in northern Illinois in 2009 and faces multiple criminal charges. In April 2012, El Mayo Zambada was indicted by a U.S. federal grand jury in Texas, along with other top leaders of the Sinaloa Cartel, including Joaquin Guzman. They were charged with crimes like murder, conspiracy related to drug trafficking, money laundering, and organized crime. By this time, both Guzman and Zambada had already faced multiple charges in various U.S. courts for drug trafficking and organized crime. The 2012 indictment in western Texas highlighted 2 violent acts linked to the cartel. One occurred during a wedding in Ciudad Juarez in 2010. An American citizen and 2 family members were kidnapped due to their connections with the rival Juarez cartel. The groom, who lived in Columbus, New Mexico, was found brutally murdered. His hands had been cut off and placed on his chest. 3 days after the wedding, the bodies of the groom, his brother, and his uncle were discovered in the back of a pickup truck. Another incident mentioned in the indictment involved the kidnapping, murder, and mutilation of a Texas resident in 2009. This was done in retaliation for losing a 670-pound load of marijuana that had been seized by the Border Patrol. Last week, Zambada appeared in a Texas court in a wheelchair. He pleaded not guilty to charges of drug trafficking, money laundering, and conspiracy to commit murder. El Chapo's son, Guzman Lopez, also pleaded not guilty to drug trafficking and other charges in a U.S. court in late July. The capture of Ismael El Mayo Zambada is a major event in the fight against drug crime. For many years, he was a secretive leader of one of the world's biggest criminal gangs. His arrest, along with Joaquin Guzman Lopez, shows that the law is committed to catching top criminals. But this doesn't mean the Sinaloa Cartel is finished. The cartel has bounced back from setbacks before, so it's unclear how they'll handle this change. What do you think about El Mayo's capture? Let us know in the comments. Subscribe to our channel for more updates and news on this story. Don't forget to like the video and hit the notification bell to stay informed.